Imagine this: you wake up, pour your coffee, and glance out the window. Instead of the usual peaceful ocean waves, you see lava. The entire ocean, every single drop of water, has turned into molten rock. What happens next? Is humanity doomed, or will we all just end up as part of a really wild sci-fi movie? This might sound like something straight out of a disaster movie, but what if it actually happened? What if, overnight, all of the Earth's oceans suddenly became lava? We're talking about a massive transformation of every ocean, lake, and sea around the planet, turning the very foundation of our planet's climate and ecosystems upside down. But let's break it down and explore what would go down in this chaotic scenario. First, let's talk science for a second. Oceans cover about 71% of the Earth's surface, and the total volume of ocean water is around 1.332 billion cubic kilometers. That's a lot of water. But lava is molten rock that's typically around 1,300 to 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit, so if the oceans turned into lava, well, we're in for one heck of a ride. Now, let's dive into how this might happen, and what the Earth would look like after this disaster unfolds. So, imagine some cosmic force or a freaky series of volcanic events caused the oceans to instantly vaporize and transform into molten rock. The first thing that would happen is a massive, explosive release of energy. We're talking a lot of energy, like, a lot. You know how when you boil water and it starts to steam? Now imagine that happening on a planetary scale, with oceans turning into vapor and lava simultaneously. Right away, all of Earth's surface temperatures would skyrocket. Without the cooling influence of the oceans, the global temperature would rise rapidly. Think of the hottest summer day you've ever experienced. Now, multiply that by, I dunno, about 100. Within days, Earth could easily become an uninhabitable furnace. So, let's address the creatures of the sea, and spoiler alert, none of them are going to make it out of this. Fish, whales, octopuses, literally every marine life form, would be immediately cooked or vaporized by the extreme heat. The same goes for coastal ecosystems, coral reefs, beaches, mangroves, gone. Now, it's not just the ocean dwellers that would suffer. The surrounding air would quickly become full of steam, ash, and toxic gases like sulfur dioxide. Imagine trying to breathe while standing near a volcano. Now stretch that across the globe. Breathing would be a challenge, and that's putting it mildly. The atmosphere would rapidly become hostile to life. The Earth's climate, which relies heavily on the oceans to regulate temperatures and weather patterns, would now be completely out of whack. Without oceans to absorb and distribute solar energy, we'd see extreme temperatures. The continents would turn into hot, dry deserts, while storms would rage out of control in the atmosphere. No more rainy days, just scorching heat, violent winds, and ash-filled skies. That means no more regular seasons. It's like Mother Nature threw out the weather calendar. And now she's just making it up as she goes. Places that used to be temperate would now be unlivable. The polar ice caps, well, they wouldn't last long in this furnace either, causing even more sea level rise, though, in this case, the sea would be molten rock, so, not helpful. Now let's talk about how the sky would change. With oceans gone, the massive amount of water vapor released would fill the atmosphere. This could lead to the creation of a thick layer of clouds and ash, blocking out the sun for extended periods. So, even though the planet would be ridiculously hot, we wouldn't have the warmth of the sun shining down on us directly. Think of it like living inside a massive, heated greenhouse with no ventilation. And forget about seeing the moon at night. A thick blanket of ash and smoke would likely obscure the sky for years, if not longer. It's like living in a permanent twilight zone. So, what's the big takeaway here? Well, this scenario isn't just about a hot planet. This isn't just about oceans becoming lava. It's about life itself. The real kicker is that, while the oceans turning into lava would definitely be catastrophic for pretty much everything, it wouldn't be the end of life on Earth. Let's imagine this happening. Say, the oceans turn to lava overnight, and everything goes up in flames. Within a few thousand years, Earth would eventually cool down, the molten rock would solidify, and new landforms would emerge. Over millions of years, some life could possibly return, evolving in entirely new ways. We're talking about an Earth where life might eventually evolve again, on land, in the air, or possibly even in what's left of the lava. Could new species emerge from this fiery disaster? Who knows? It's a real-life reset button, though the process would take far too long for humans, or any current life forms, to survive it. So, while the idea of oceans turning into lava overnight sounds like the ultimate apocalypse scenario, the Earth itself would eventually bounce back. It would just take a really long time, and we probably wouldn't be around to see it. But that's the amazing thing about this planet. No matter how much we mess things up, Earth has a way of regenerating itself, even if it involves turning our oceans into molten rock. What do you think? Would life really return to Earth after a lava-fueled apocalypse, or would it be the end of the line for us humans? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this wild ride into an alternate reality, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more mind-bending science scenarios. Catch you in the next one, if Earth's still around by then.